and welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. I'm your host and pitch guy, Trey. And today I am joined by my fellow pitchmen. We've got Andrew here to pitch his idea for Samus in a sexy sailor suit.
Okay. Somebody has probably done this with Source Filmmaker. I don't think I need to pitch that. I think everybody likes the idea of that off the bat. We may as well just start making money off that idea right now. But it's like I'm probably more in the boat of making an F-Zero movie. Don't typecast me, okay?
You got Frank who's here to pitch some ideas about a dark and gritty reboot of Pokemon. What are you doing here, man?
I mean, I saw Detective Pikachu and yeah.
It's not dark
fighting.
enough.
It needs to be even worse. It needs to be even worse.
We also got
Rocket doesn't have healthcare. Of course, it's worse.
We need to have Mewtwo be even edgier than he already is.
Drifloon and Lily takes kids. I don't see a nightmare movie about this. I need to.
That's fair. We also got our boy Mello, and he's here to pitch his idea for what?
Donkey Kong. I'm doing the.
He's here to pitch why Donkey Kong's always gonna just slap around Mario for the rest of eternity.
Super Mario Bros. Like the Super Mario Bro, all of these add up is crazy. Like it's the thought of them becoming movies. It's kind of disturbing. Like, what the fuck are they gonna make the Mario in a movie? I just can't. Luigi. What are they gonna do? I just can't see it. But then it's gonna be lit though. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we always have our man with the plan, Professor Shinobi with a. Okay, this list is very long. Professor, why do you want a schoolgirl adaptation of Fire Emblem?
Because I want them to fall in love, and I have waifus, and I want body pillows. Damn it!
Did you not play Four Houses?
Three Houses.
Three Houses. There you go. That's the one.
I didn't play Three Houses, and I know.
Basement house too. There are 4 houses.
There are 4 houses.
Oh my god. What are we counting? The Chamber of Secrets as the 4th house? I'm sure they got one of those.
They had a whole DLC, and basically yes.
Good lord. That was meant to be a joke.
Was basically Slytherin.
That was meant to be an ironic joke. What do you... You know what? No spoilers for anybody who hasn't played it through it yet. More like I just don't want to know, okay? I don't want to know.
I also want to know how Trey saw my list, because on my list for Nintendo Bingo, number 4 literally was Fire Emblem Slice of Life romance anime.
Because Three Houses is already Hogwarts.
No, Awakening.
Awakening.
Yeah,
okay,
well, I mean like Fire Emblem Sexual Awakening, but something close.
Okay. Well, to be fair though, like Fire Emblem Awakening is also like the most anime of all the Fire Emblem games.
Yep.
Like it is the most accessible to weebs and is probably the most popular among weebs.
It has lots of waifus.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we are here to talk about some speculation. This is a different podcast than normal, but I think it's going to be fun. So the idea is that we've heard news that Nintendo has some new copyrights on the books. They have copyright Nintendo Studios LLC and Mario Bros. Production LLC, meaning that these are probably going to be the production studios that will make the Super Mario movie in combination with Illumination. Darn minions. But also, it's the potential that we're going to get a bunch of movies made from Nintendo's very wide catalog of IPs. They have more IPs than just about any other video game company out there, and they could just rake in all of the money at the box office.
Ridiculous.
So the idea here is that we're just gonna go around and pitch some ideas. We have our favorite IPs. We have our least favorite IPs. We just are gonna talk about some movie ideas that could or couldn't work. And either way, it's just a fun thing for us to do on a nice hot summer day. Mm-hmm. Before we get started, I guess we have to put out gotta get the plugs out the way.
And plug our latest content, man. Make me proud.
Oh yes, of course. I have to plug Andrew's amazing work on the NakaCon video. Yes, we did. We went down to
was
Nakacon,
fun.
and we have so much cosplay footage that is just coming out our ears. We have a new video up on our site, and if you follow our Instagram, we are going to be having more videos coming up throughout the weeks. So please check those out.
Please go watch it. It was such a labor of love. I almost died making that video. That video wanted to kill me, but
I mean,
is some of
Was
our
beautiful.
best work yet. And yeah, please, just I'm begging you, go watch it. I spent so much time editing that thing.
You hear this man's plea? Help him.
Like I
Make
hear
his work
like
worth.
I'm exhausted because
but
it just premiered yesterday as of this recording, and I just I'm still recovering from that, to be honest. I've been working on it nonstop for weeks.
It's like his
The thing,
efforts and training are
recovering is
paying
the
off,
thing.
and it's ridiculous.
Well, it's just what you do for cosplay. You think, oh, it's going to be so easy. I have this super easy pitch for it, and it's going to be great. I can show it off really early. And then it's like, at what point do I crack out the hot glue gun and just call it good?
Yeah, well, with cosplay is just it's a huge investment. Cosplay is an art form.
It really
And
is.
you have to be dedicated. That's all there is to it. Plus, then there's wearing the costume at the convention. I know that's not what this podcast is about. We can move on to the next plug, but I just want to say a huge shout out and massive thank you to everybody who appeared in that video. From the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of everybody's hearts here in this podcast, thank you for taking the time to pose for our video and allowing us to film your fantastic cosplays. We really appreciate it. That was a real honor to be there and meet so many very nice and very talented people.
Yes.
They were beautiful. They were beautiful.
So another plug we have is obviously our previous podcast talking about Spring 2022 anime. God, Spy X Family, Kaguya-sama, all the list goes on and on. and there
Komi-san,
were just-
go watch Komi-san. Freaking watch Komi-san. It will cure your depression. I swear.
Indeed it will. Indeed it will.
It'll make
Thank
you
you,
believe in good things again.
Andrew, thank you. We
Maybe that's hope.
hear all of Andrew's gushing of Komi-san in that podcast. He loves the show like no other. We also have, of course, we have our mid-season review of Obi-Wan, and obviously we at the time of this recording, Obi-Wan just wrapped up, so we're gonna have that finale out on the site very soon. And guys, spoiler alert, hello there.
As long as he says that, that's all that matters.
I lost my shit. I lost my shit.
That's good. I'm glad to know that the show is amazing. I haven't finished it myself, but I've heard lots of positive things about it. So that's very reassuring.
Yes. So please check out all our articles and anything else on our main website, avent7.com. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. If you do enjoy the show, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and share this all over social media. We're on our way to 200 subs by the end of the year. Let's get this bread, boys!
Yeah, we're currently at 142, so my fingers are crossed we'll reach 150 here pretty soon.
So yeah, that's all I'm hoping for. But with all that out of the way, let's pitch some ideas onto the show.
I
And
think
once again,
Legend of Zelda will be like a multi-million-dollar franchise.
Oh my
That
God.
Oh
would
yeah,
be
no,
dude.
of course.
nostalgic.
That is
Absolutely.
probably absolutely. Right after Mario, there's like Legend of Zelda movies.
People
once again, all these are
love-
speculative. No,
Yeah.
no confirmation. We're just spitballing ideas, and we're
Yeah.
just like, this would be cool. And
Yeah,
everyone's
we're
been
hoping.
wanting a Legend of Zelda movie for a while.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they chose the Super Mario. I mean, Super Mario's Mario's super popular,
Mhm.
I'm actually not. Like Mario is
but like the
like
Legend of Zelda. Is,
yeah, but Mario is like the number one thing you think of Nintendo. You think of Nintendo, you go Mario. Then
Mario-
Legend of Zelda and such, and then other
it's
things like
the
that.
front door. It's like Mario's like the front door, and then you walk in, and then there's the Legend of Zelda and Donkey Kong, and this whole list. It's huge, the amount of games, and it's all nostalgic.
It's
Yep.
Mario, Pokemon, and then Legend of Zelda.
Yep, and Pokemon kind of just is its own thing. So that's the only one I'm not 100% pitching for. Because we got lucky with Detective Pikachu. Let's not press our luck again.
Oh god, video game movies, just keep hitting that button. Just keep hitting that button going, please, at least one of these work, please. Please.
I mean, look, if the next
it
Pokemon
could
live action
work.
movie is half as good as Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, then I mean that's all that we need.
I don't want to see Pikachu with teeth.
I do.
So a live action Pikachu would be amazing. It would like.
Well, we've seen live action
My
Pikachu,
life.
but he's just Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. Live action Pikachu was voiced by Ryan Reynolds, and
I want
in
the
doing
Danny
so,
DeVito.
Wow.
Ryan Reynolds
Where's
only
Danny DeVito?
Ryan Reynolds only knows how to play one type of character, and that is Deadpool.
Van Wilder.
So-
No, Van Wilder.
It's himself.
Okay,
The answer
okay,
is it's
you're right.
himself.
You're right. Okay, so Deadpool is really Van Wilder.
It's
So,
just
but
Van, he's,
people just didn't watch Van Wilder, so they assume that Deadpool is his definitive role. It's like, actually, no, Van Wilder was Ryan Reynolds' claim to fame. You just aren't cool enough to know that. I'm a hipster. But yeah, dude. Like, does Pokemon actually have another live action movie in the pipeline? As far as we know, have we heard
No,
anything
no.
about that?
Pokemon doesn't really focus on that. They make all of their money from plushies. The merchandising is all they really care about. It's like it goes like it goes merchandise, then it goes maybe the video games, then some of the movies, and then the anime. It's like, so if they go with the idea of making another live action movie, which will probably be a sequel to Detective Pikachu, which would probably require them to actually finish the video game of Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, they would have to finish Detective Pikachu 2, the video game, before they even consider making Detective Pikachu the movie.
they are creating another live action movie for Pokemon.
It
Well,
just
what's that
hasn't really been expanded upon yet, like what that is going to be about or what form it's going to take.
Yeah, like, what it's gonna
yeah.
Was that a Netflix thing?
It's a Netflix thing. Yep.
Oh yeah, no, throw that out, throw it out. It doesn't exist.
It's
A
Netflix,
Netflix
therefore we
version.
cannot trust it.
No.
Yeah, check out me and Professor Shinobi as we rip into Cowboy Failboff.
Oh God. But
That's
love
right.
it
Yeah.
so
No,
much.
we'll put up a little
have you guys
card.
watched-
We'll put up a
Yeah.
little card in like the top right of the screen here, so people can get a link to the
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop live action podcast. Because boy, that was a real success, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it did things. It elicited reactions the whole time.
All right,
I
so
mean, if
I
we're
love
gonna
my
do
life
Pokemon,
that show. Good Lord. I love it.
yeah.
if we are going to do Pokemon, we need to do Pokemon Red and Blue again, like we did with that small OAV series with like Gold and Silver. Because that animated series was like, oh yeah, this is actually what Pokemon is like. It's a little bit closer to what the manga was like, and it's a little bit more intense. Where it's like, oh, it's cute. It's Squirtle versus oh, that Squirtle is biting that Charmander's neck. Oh, that light is going out. Oh, this Charmander dying.
So,
Was
yeah.
this Pokemon Chronicles?
No, not Pokemon Chronicles. This is Pokemon Origins.
Origins. Oh yeah, I haven't watched the newer Pokemon anime projects, but I know they're really good.
It was really good. Like, every time Pokemon does a side animation project, everybody loves it because it's always so much better than
It's always so much better than the main anime.
Well, yeah, the main anime it's mid at best, but sometimes it can be sometimes it can be hype, but most of the time
Sometimes.
it's mid.
It's so mid.
The thing about Pokemon is that like the universe is so wide, and there's so many possibilities for stories that I think that another Pokemon live action movie, it has a lot of different places it can go, and that's good. That means that we could get a really good story, but we could also get a really bad story if Pokemon decides to like water down those possibilities by saying, oh, the movie has to be about XYZ. It has to be about the same things that the main anime is about, right? If they do that, then they botched it.
Exactly.
So I'm not
Yeah,
saying they
yeah.
would, but like Pokemon has shown us that they have both done really good things and really not good things with their storytelling. So diverting back to
honestly,
the
don't you guys think like the hype about this Nintendo movies. Like it's kind of
I was just gonna say like
people watching.
Go ahead, Mello. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying there's so many eyes on it that I feel like they're gonna really care about their storytelling and just overall delivery.
Yeah.
I think so
I mean,
too.
We could say the same about Marvel, and we could say the same about DC, and I would say that both of them have had very different results, even though they have incredibly huge fan bases and a huge lore pool to pick from. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting to see
But
which
they have
way
so
I would
much
see Nintendo
precedent.
swing.
Like it's like a kind of like the new kid, like what they can really. I mean, we have one. I don't really know, like. I'm saying they're kind of new.
Right.
It's like their possibilities. They might do something completely amazing because they have so many trilogies, like so many like series of games.
And they have options.
They-
That's why we're here. They have options.
Yes.
Professor Shelby, why don't you give us a pitch real quick? Let's hear a pitch from you.
Okay, so I have an idea about pitching two different series put together. One of them is that one of the Nintendo licenses is called Art Academy. Now, we've already had Pokemon Art Academy, and we can make this a cute little series about how to draw. And I want it to be Wario Art Academy.
Oh,
Wario
jeez.
Art Academy.
Wait,
Okay.
I
I like that.
You
It's
would
like-
tell me you would
like-
not click on Wario Art Academy to be like, what the hell is this series?
It's appropriately off the wall and wacky for the Wario series.
But think about it. He has so many different mini game approaches where it's like, we're going to make this, and then I'm going to eat it, and then I sell it.
So
Yeah.
then he decides to take like a divergent from his gaming business to make art.
Yes.
Because he goes to a museum.
Today we're going to make Mona Lisa. Step 1, rob the Louvre.
Nah, I want to see a Wario movie where she goes from gaming to like making movies. I want to see a like
You know?
WarioWare make a movie.
That is appropriately meta because the whole concept around the WarioWare games is being meta. Like you're
Yeah.
playing a game about WarioWare's gaming company. So he decides to make a movie, so you watch a movie about him making movies.
You make the movie
Yeah.
about making
If you watch him pitch Art Academy, where it's like, it's art, and everyone else goes, we can't say it's not art.
I think that it really makes sense for him to like have a movie about making movies. Like that lines in, especially because the movie industry makes a ton of money. Think about it. He could go watch like a Marvel movie and get inspired and be like, okay, I'm gonna invent my own superhero cinematic universe. And
Yes,
all
yeah.
of his
Oh,
friends,
yeah.
he has so many
Oh.
friends, right?
Yeah.
Wario has a
All his
large
Wario
cast
friends-
of characters, so
And
they
half
all
of them
make
are
movies.
superheroes, so it works.
Half of them are superheroes, exactly. So he makes movies about each of his like super weird friends. You have the duo like of dog mechanics, the anthropomorphic dog mechanics who like he's friends with. They can make a Fast and Furious ripoff. He has an alien friend. The alien friend can do like a UFO sci-fi abduction story.
Like it's Wario trying to figure out like trying to mash all these together. And trying to
And then he
find
has a
a-
crossover.
And then he had like a cohesive story he's trying to make together.
That would
And
be
the-
a great commentary on the movie industry as it is today, because the movie industry is pretty unique as of now. There's a lot of parodies you could make off of that.
It's been a while since people have done parody movies, so maybe it's time to bring them back.
It
becomes the
actually
new
might
Mike
work
Myers.
with that one.
Oh God, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just remembering a lot of the satire movies.
Oh yeah, like epic movie and all the scary movies.
Meet the Spartans. Meet the Spartans.
Right. So this would be in a similar vein to that, just on probably more of like a kid-friendly level.
Yeah.
Imagine
I mean,
like
I have a kid-friendly idea as well.
What is it? What you got?
Cooking with Kirby.
That would be
Okay.
fire. I'm not
You
gonna
tell me
lie.
Cooking
That
with Kirby would
actually-
not be
I
a
would
series
put
that you would want to watch, especially
I
when
would
you
watch
can get
that.
other Nintendo properties to come over and you can get Breath of the Wild, Link
Ah, you
to cook
got me
with
at
them.
the first
It's gonna be kind of like the
title
Muppet Show,
brought me in.
where they do cooking with the Swedish chef, and they'll just bring in random celebrity guests to cook with them.
They
But
could
the
put
problem
that
is-
on. They could put this on Netflix. I'd watch this.
They would absolutely put this on Netflix, and I've seen a lot of like the Kirby Cafe has actually done really, really well in Japan. mostly because the concept for it wasn't like buy a bunch of Kirby merch, so much as buy all this really cute glassware and plate settings and forks that we serve with the meals, and the food is actually good and not just we put a film on top of coffee that looks like Kirby's face. You're welcome. $30, please.
I do want to brag for a moment that I have been to the Kirby Cafe, and I didn't get to eat there, unfortunately, because I couldn't get in.
Oh dear.
You needed tickets ahead of time, and we couldn't get more than 2 tickets, and there were 3 people of my party. But I did get to go buy the merch at the Kirby Cafe, and I just want to say the merchandise was still freaking awesome. So that's also part of why you go to the Kirby Cafe. But yes, like if they made like a spin-off one-off show about the Kirby Cafe itself, like in real life, and how they make
like
the
a
food there,
documentary about it would be cool. Yeah,
I would watch that. I'd watch a mini documentary about the Kirby Cafe. Why not?
Right. What do you guys think about like the Netflix, the Sonic adaptation on Netflix? They made a Sonic the Hedgehog adaptation on there because I'm thinking that might be the level.
Oh, are you talking about Sonic X?
Movie. Like just like the level of like how they're delivering the movie, how nice the movie is.
Right.
Yeah,
what
no.
if they
Also
put
would
that on the scale of a TV show?
Once again, we already had the best Sonic TV show ever, Sonic X.
This is
it
true.
did have Dan Green.
Like, you had
Dan Green. Yeah, anything
he's
is
Knuckles.
better with Dan Green.
Yeah, no, he's Knuckles in Sonic X.
Yeah, so it's like we already had the best adaptation we could have possibly had, and once again,
not
the
in that
Sonic movies are
manner.
great.
I really like you kind of misunderstood me. I really meant like they make the Nintendo movies possibly, speculatively if they come onto the Netflix platform, they're gonna come onto that level of animation and how Sonic was looking and Pikachu might look like that. That is beautiful to me. The thought
Oh, yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's like Nintendo's trying to compete with Sega now, because that's why they delayed the Mario movie, because they saw how good Sonic 2 was, and they're like,
Yeah,
Oh,
but then,
Chris Pratt is not enough.
rivalries always get attention. Rivalries like imagine like MCU and like yo, I just think that like Nintendo is just too legendary. You know what I mean? Like I know they make great games, but like who buys consoles? Like other than that, it's rare nowadays when consoles coming out.
Well, I think retro gaming is still super popular, and especially now
Yeah.
when Pokemon is literally the most successful franchise.
Yeah.
That Nintendo at least has a slice into something where it's like, okay, maybe we know what people are interested in, and selling some stuff that is retro but can be rebranded. I've already seen this done well with Castlevania on Netflix, which was really, really solid. If
Yeah,
you're not a fan
Castlevania
of
was amazing.
Castlevania, you still probably like that series.
"Oh yeah, we got very lucky with that show, and
Amazing.
we're getting a sequel with Richter, which is going to be nice."
Oh my god, yes.
It's funny how
I think
funny
it
how-
would be really cool if
So-
we got a Legend of Zelda anime.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
excuse me, princess. Do you
Okay,
not remember?
that's not anime. That's cringe. That was cringe from like the
Guys,
80s or
guys,
90s. That
Animation,
was
Andrew.
all pain. That was pure unfiltered pain. I mean, it's funny, but I don't want that. I don't
so
want
is that-
that again.
Yeah, so it's that sort of thing where like Nintendo it doesn't seem to be doing this in-house. It's gonna be in partner with other studios that will do this.
Which is
Right.
why I
So-
kind of want to pitch the idea of Legend of Zelda the same way that we did Star Wars Visions.
Oh,
Give everybody the Legend of Zelda IP, work in directions where they want. Someone does something with Majora's Mask, someone does with Breath of the Wild, someone does it with A Link Between Worlds. Go ham. See what we can do with Legend of Zelda and what we can do with the lore, because there's a lot.
there's a lot.
And the people who are trying to figure out the lore, fuck you.
Well, they have a book. They have a book.
Which
They
they have a book.
yeah, which
But
the games came out doesn't matter anymore now.
When was the last time that the book was like accurate? Because let's see. The timeline accommodates everything up until Breath of the Wild.
Yes, now Breath of the Wild came out, was like, what timeline are you in now? You don't know anymore.
They finally revealed that there were 3 timelines back in the like early 2010s. That finally leaked online, and then they made an actual like encyclopedia that confirmed that. But that was a decade ago. Who knows what the timeline is like now? Nintendo can just make a 4th timeline and say screw you for all we know.
Here's our movie timeline. Like, it's gonna be something like that.
Let
It
me
has
ask
to
you
be
this.
probably a retelling of the original Legend of Zelda.
When the hell, like, what timeline does that Hyrule Warriors game take place in? Because that ain't the same timeline as Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that takes place in the Moneyverse.
Yeah, that takes place in the Moneyverse, obviously.
Of course. How could I forget? Same verse as the new Fire Emblem
Fighters.
3
More.
Warriors game, or whatever the heck it's called.
Yeah,
Exactly.
go.
Did you just call it Fate Go?
Yes, he did.
Jesus. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I know how to say Fate Grand Order. It's just funnier to say Fate
What
Go.
do you?
Anyways. So, if
what
anything
guys
else,
think is the most likely?
most likely,
Like most likely to really happen and to like adapt right now. That like they're gonna make, or like the coolest one, or the one that's most slept on, the one that doesn't get the most underrated.
Pikmin.
The one that, well, no, I actually have one that's deeper cut than that one. I want a live action series of Fatal Frame.
Oh, come
Oh.
on. Oh my gosh.
That'd be
that's
a
like
horror
the
movie that
least
Ed would
likely
buy all
thing.
the tickets for.
I know, right? Like
Exactly.
Ed would actually like
Wait.
rent out a full movie theater just for that. And I know he doesn't have the money, but he would take out a loan. He'd sell his kidney just so he could do that.
This is one of the series that I looked at and I said, this one has to be live. Because you could do it animated, but man, doing this live with a Japanese actress would be very interesting. And it's like,
massive
you would
step
give
up.
a whole license to be
No.
like, yeah, you know how to remake Ring.
oh Jesus. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, land a country known for Ringu and all those other Japanese horror movies. Of course, Fatal Frame is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a no-brainer, but I don't think Nintendo's gonna do horror movies.
Yeah,
It's
probably
hard
not.
to say. I mean, like, we already have Metroid, and Metroid in itself is a combination of action and horror. I mean, for God's sake, the last game was called Dread.
Yeah, but I like
that
games
was
are
also such a rare occurrence. Like
Yeah.
the fact that Dread even exists, it means that
Metroid
like we did
Fusion is
something
also
right.
horror.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's the
but-
thing. It's gonna be Metroid was gonna be kind of like Alien. They're never gonna do Alien.
No.
but they can still do like a space
And it's
adventure with
majority
Samus
children.
going
They
through.
could absolutely do a series of Samus going on bounty hunts, and honestly, if you need comic relief in the middle of it, have you ever read the logs of the space pirates? They are
I have
absolute
not.
mad scientists who went, okay, we found out that whenever you pump dark energy into this, it allowed you to get a little bit of levitation. So we put in 3 times the recommended amount and then found out that it induced flight. This allows us to then put this into tubes and then put it into here, and now we made evil bioweapons. We forgot to make control units. That doesn't matter.
Oh, it was a chain sequence of evil right there. Like, yo,
So Mello,
Then
you
I
said
can
you want
see that, though. That's
you want a
interesting.
Donkey
I can
Kong
see that.
movie, right?
I just think that I just think King Kong. I'm just thinking how the
You want a
King
King?
Kong
You want
one.
King Kong? You want to remake King Kong with Donkey Kong?
Yo,
They bring him
yeah,
to
man,
the
obviously
freaking Mushroom
gonna-
Kingdom.
yeah, they're just gonna obviously steal that idea and just run with it, like you
He
know.
grabs Princess Peach, he goes to the top of
Yeah.
New Donk City.
Yeah, and I want some multi-dimension,
Look, it's
you know, like multiverse madness. Only gonna be one universe.
With Wario being played by Jack Black.
the advice is
already
as
playing
old as time.
Bowser.
Full of rock shit, bro.
What is the best way to ensure success in a movie? You steal someone else's idea.
Yeah, originality is dead. No one's got to
that
remember that.
quote. That one quote, like real artists don't. What did they say? Copy. They steal.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like
the-
what
imitate,
movies?
they
Like
steal.
that's how I see movies.
What about Donkey Kong versus Yoshi in the style of King Kong versus Godzilla?
Oh,
Are we gonna
shit,
turn
like,
Yoshi
that's
into a
a-
kaiju? Because I actually kind of want to see this now.
Yoshi and DK have never had much of an interaction with each other, actually.
Exactly. Outside of Smash.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how I would power scale that.
But that's the whole point. It's like we already got Donkey Kong as the King Kong equivalent. We just needed a dinosaur equivalent. We could have picked Bowser, but I just think Yoshi's funnier.
Yoshi is funnier. I think that Bowser's probably like more on point for vibe. But if we're talking power scale here, Yoshi is technically a dragon. So I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. It's like Donkey Kong, he's got a crew, but Yoshi can literally fly and breathe fireballs. So
Bro, yeah, that's the long range. Like I really did.
Yeah, it's like there's that idea.
Well, there goes my crafting with Yoshi idea being nice and family friendly anymore.
I mean, we can still have both. We can have both.
It's like Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, it would be so adorable.
Yeah, people can always make scary things or more mature things, baby. Just look at Teen Titans Go, or the preschool Spider-Man show. I still don't understand how that thing's a thing.
I don't know how they got the same voice actor to play Wolverine and just make him sound like he's younger.
A 2-year-old with a smoker's voice, Jesus.
It's still
about you guys. I just feel terrible
He's
about
trying to
that.
talk to him like, okay, kid, this is what Wolverine does. He says snicked bub.
You're not bottled milk, bub.
Wolverine.
Okay, so back to pitch.
That's like
back
a
to pitching
terrible
ideas.
idea.
Andrew, do you have a pitch for F-Zero?
Okay, so you guys remember that chase scene in Star Wars Episode 2 where Obi-Wan and Anakin are chasing after that like bounty hunter through the city, and they're jumping over like futuristic cars and futuristic car chase like in the middle of a city?
Yeah,
basically just
the assassin.
Place that setting and that type of story, that like chase, into the F-Zero world. Boom, you got a freaking movie. F-Zero's like world and lore takes a lot from other futuristic sci-fi stories like Star Wars. In fact, it very shamelessly rips off some of these things at times.
Yeah, and all of those get ripped off from the Foundation, like Isaac Asimov, like when he wrote the Foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Captain Falcon is just an amalgamation of a bunch of different like American superheroes. So just take like a lot of different references and shove them all into this like tongue-in-cheek movie. Like it's a sci-fi setting, really cool, lots of fast cars. They, make the Grand Prix the focus of the story, but have like other side things that happen alongside the Grand Prix. Bounty hunters fighting each other. There's there's forces of evil at work behind the scenes trying to rig the race. Captain Falcon just enters for the sake of the prize, but ends up discovering something bigger, like a conspiracy that he's got to fix.
Conspiracy.
I like how you literally just pitched the movie Redline.
Yes, I was about to say, this is Redline.
Are we talking about Redline or Speed Racer?
The thing is, Redline is F-Zero, and F-Zero is Redline. That's just how it goes.
Oh, God, what difference is that Captain Falcon's Pomodoro is contained in his helmet?
Like, we've had so many tried and true, like, proven successful formulas for racing movies. Like, F-Zero's already got a template to work with. Just slap the aesthetic on top and you're golden. It will make tons of money. I swear to God, Nintendo, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, you know
this setting. You introduce more bar fights and you call it F-Zero Rising Falcon.
Oh my God. Perfect pitch.
I think it has to be like an origin story for Captain Falcon, like coming up through the races and then finally getting his big break in the Grand Prix.
It would be a great way to breathe life into the series.
Yeah,
be emotionally touching.
Well, it could be something where like a corporate sponsor constantly is hiring a new class act, but then after one or two races, they make them mysteriously die during the race. And so the corporate sponsor finds Captain Falcon. They find Captain Falcon. Falcon goes, wait a minute, they're trying to kill me. So he removes the bomb and he wins the race. And now everyone's out to murder him.
Yes, Cars 2.
Oh my God, it is Cars 2, dang it.
Again, no, he's right. He's right, though.
I think that's the best way to go about it then.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the best way to go about it. If we're
Personally,
gonna pitch a racing movie, it has to be cars too.
Okay, I'm drawing one line. If I hear Captain Falcon say "ka-chow," I walk.
Oh god, I will pay money for that to happen. Like
I
Nintendo,
will
how much
watch.
money do you need me to give you to make Captain Falcon say "ka-chow"?
Greg,
Like it's not Falcon Punch. It's Ka-chow when he hits you.
Ka-chow
Again!
punch!
No, it's
Come on!
Ka-chow. And, get knocked out. I think, and then he goes,
Ka-chow
no,
punch.
I'm gonna say my name. I'm gonna say my name. Falcon. Yeah, it was much better. It's much better. He's sitting there trying to go through these names. Like, I want my signature movie named something. When I yell, and then he goes Ka-chow, and he like, no, it's not gonna work.
Also, like, Captain Falcon needs to be played by a very muscular Japanese man who is trying to sound American.
Yes.
I
It
want
has
to
to be that way.
already.
You cannot just bring in Vin Diesel and be like, he's Captain Falcon. I don't care if that looks cool. He has to have the voice, the very corny voice. Come on,
If he doesn't sound like Terry Bogard,
Yeah,
I don't
like-
want him.
I want him. If he's Terry Bogard.
Jack-
I want
What's
Terry
his name?
Bogard to be Captain Falcon. That's basically what I'm saying here.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Like Jackie Chan in his prime, he could do anything.
He could do anything, but he
Actually,
wouldn't work with this one.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that too. I would love to see Jackie Chan be Captain Falcon. I mean, Captain Falcon wears his helmet all the time anyways. Here's the thing. So, Halo screwed this up. I don't want to see Captain Falcon's face. Keep the helmet on him. He showers with the helmet on. Do this, okay?
Yes.
We
exactly.
don't need
on
to see
there.
his face.
Like,
He's way
exactly like
cooler
George
with the
Strait.
helmet on. And it makes more sense. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the cutscenes from F-Zero GX, the GameCube game, but the plot is very tongue-in-cheek sometimes, okay? It's silly.
They
It's
have
fun. That's the whole point.
McCloud
I want you.
from Fox in that game.
I want you guys to just look up who Brian T is.
Brian T.
Brian T. Just look him up.
Brian
I think that would be the perfect actor for.
Like
For Captain Falcon.
B-R-I-A-N-T.
And then T, like T-shirt, T-E-E.
Oh,
T-E.
T-E-E. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. I know this dude. Yeah.
Dude!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yes, Falcon
That guy
Furious.
from
Has a helmet.
Tokyo Drift.
Oh my
Yes.
god, it's Captain Falcon.
Oh yeah, you better believe. Yeah, yes sir,
Falcon. I
yes
think-
sir.
That would be the
It's
perfect casting.
literally somebody brought Captain Falcon
Oh
to
my
life.
God.
They just willed him into being. Fantastic.
No,
Just
I
put a
think
helmet on
man
top
a
of him.
helmet.
And
put a
he's
helmet on
complete.
that, and it's great. That and the goatee. The goatee. If you see one of his pictures with him with goatee.
I want Captain Falcon to have virtually no dialogue throughout the whole movie, except for like a few catchphrases that are all spoken in very bad English.
Show me your moves.
Yeah, he just says stuff
Yeah,
like
like-
that. Show me your
Okay.
So
Okay.
I have a pitch. Mother 3. Just they're never gonna localize it. But make it a movie.
Make it a Netflix interactive series that's very interactive.
Interactive.
I think Metroid has a better chance of a live action film than
Well,
Mother
yeah,
3.
I think Smash Brothers have a better.
Yeah, Smash
chance.
Brothers has a better chance of getting a live
Hey,
action adaptation.
you guys are
With-
stealing my
with-
thunder. I was trying to build up the cinematic universe that leads to Smash Bros, where it turns into subspace emissaries.
And I'm gonna check that off of my list because I had that idea too. That was listed as SSBU movie with all DLC characters.
Ooh. Well, see, that's gonna be a lot harder though, because then they're just gonna be pulling in random characters from companies that don't even exist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Marvel's doing right now. It's okay.
We may as well just jump into Smash then.
But
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my pitch: get the person who draws Brawl in the Family and animate it.
Nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that could
and
work.
I
I
made it in
mean,
like what kind of way?
So,
Okay.
Brawl in the Family, if you're not familiar, was a series of someone drawing all of the characters from Super Smash Brothers, and as new games would come out, they would introduce new characters, basically in the situational comedy that they're all living in the same house. So you have one of them where a person is trying to sleep, and It's the problems with having bunkmates, and one of them is Captain Falcon sleeping on the top bunk, and he just constantly goes,
about, like,
sleep,
the real world.
fucking sleep, fucking
Yes.
sleep.
Like,
yes.
I could see that, like, I hit
Is
on
this the same
Adult
guy
Swim.
who's doing the? There's a current.
Hilarious.
If this is the same guy, there's a current run where after Kazuya was revealed, they basically tried to they killed off all the characters in the Smash House, and they've spent the last like year and a half trying to revive them.
I am pulling it up right now because it has a Wikipedia article. Because I'm trying to find the author's name so I can credit them. Matthew Toronto, who is both the author and the illustrator for this.
Yeah.
And apparently it ended way back in 2014. Golly, I feel old.
Okay. So never mind then.
So your plan for this is probably what, an anthology movie?
It's probably going to be an anthology. It's probably a little bit more akin to comedies of like Cromartie High School or Excel Saga, or Pop Team Epic is another good example of this.
Can I pitch this directed by God, who did Moonrise Kingdom? God dang it, Wes Anderson. Like
Wes Anderson does Brawl in the
Yes,
he could do it.
Yes, I think that man has a way with anthologies that are great. Like if you watch the recent movie he did, oh God, The French Dispatch.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Well, Wes Anderson does no wrong, so I won't deny that. I'm just saying.
The problem I have is that it's not a heist movie, so I don't know if Wes Anderson can direct it, because that's inevitably what happens with him.
Wait. Is Mr. Fantastic, the Mr. Fantastic Fox, is that a heist movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Mr. Star Fox is a heist movie.
Hey, are you pitching another idea?
That was a skit from College Humor. I can't take credit for that one. But
Yo,
Oh my God.
can I put an
Fox, do a
idea?
barrel roll. Why?
Oh my God, one of my favorite movies of all time is a heist movie, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, he spends the first half of the movie stealing stuff, and then the last half of the movie trying to steal back his tail.
He's a freaking burglar. Oh my God, it's a heist movie.
You know,
Okay.
a picture of him with a mask on?
No. We're gonna move past this epiphany. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
But I think an anthology made by Wes Anderson would probably be the best way to go about it then. If you want to do Brawl in the Family, and it has to be just one wacky day in the life of this house with a bunch of Nintendo characters in it.
Yeah, no,
It's probably going to be Roy would be the main character, I would say, because Roy is usually the butt of a lot of the jokes. Because Roy comes in for Super Smash Bros. Melee, and then he doesn't show up in Brawl. And
But then he's in 4.
yeah, he finally comes back, and it's actually a really great reunion. You also have Master Hand as a character in there, and there's one I know on his YouTube channel. He actually did a bit where King Dedede sings a Christmas song. So it's something where it's like that kind of humorous interaction between all of them would be fun, and since it's all Nintendo IPs for the most part, it could be something that I think would do well, and especially since it's animated, you don't have to worry about hiring a bunch of actors. It doesn't need to be super serious, so not everyone's going to go like, well, technically, Roy doesn't know this move until later in the games.
Like, yeah. But here's my pitch. And it's literally just I'm pitching the Avengers. This is what I'm pitching. It's like we gotta build up the franchise, obviously. So we got the Mario movie already being made. We gotta get a Zelda movie made, and we gotta get a Fire Emblem movie made. Dang it, we're gonna have to get a Fire Emblem.
No, not Fire Emblem.
I want a Fire Emblem slice of life romance anime. That's all I want.
Yeah,
It
that's
would
not
make so much money, because here is a not very well known fact about movie content or TV content aimed at teenagers.
Sure.
Shipping culture. Shipping culture is
Oh
like
my
one of the
God.
biggest, most money-making concepts in all of Hollywood. This is the reason why iCarly was so successful, was the shipping culture.
You're
Do you
literally
really realize that is the same reason? This is the same reason why Fire Emblem is so popular. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Fire Emblem is popular because of the shipping culture. Come at me, okay? Light me up.
I don't.
No, you're true, because I'm looking back at like early 2000 TV shows, and it's Zoe 101, Degrassi, right? I mean, recently now it's like Euphoria, but like all that is predicated to like teens wanting to be viewed as adults or some situations like that.
Just look at all the fan art. Look at all the fan art for Fire Emblem. It's 95% shipping.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
So, yeah, man,
but like so is Shin Megami Tensei movie. It's like so is Shin Megami Tensei game.
Exactly.
So.
If they made a Persona movie, that's what it'd be about.
No.
And Nintendo doesn't want that. I mean, but if they play up that concept, if they find a way to tackle that concept while making it family friendly, because again, Disney Channel and Nickelodeon did that most of the time, they've got a multi-million-dollar movie right there.
So, Andrew, let me get this straight. You want an anime about the army to launch a navy's worth of ships?
Yes.
Yes. Pretty much.
But the problem is there's a bunch of like hot 2D girls drawn in the middle of it, so of course, yes.
Oh, there's gonna be hot men too. Like
they will
seriously.
make so much money off of hot anime girls and boys. That's just freaking truth. Husbandos,
you
waifus.
pick your flavor of the week, you will find it in Fire Emblems. You want to see bird girls? We got that. You want to see totally ugly dudes? We got that. You want to see someone that you're not entirely sure about their gender and you are kind of awkward about it? We got that.
Like, you want to see a werewolf? We got that. You want to see a dragon? We got 10 of those.
You want to see women in realistic heavy armor wielding a spear? Her name is Nephany and she is hot.
If people think that this is too many characters for a series or for a movie, I would say you clearly haven't watched enough harem anime yet. There is a formula.
This actually could work if we make this like Valentine's Day the movie.
Just make it like My Hero Academia. You have way too many characters and everyone went strips.
That's true. That's very true. My Hero's got a wide cast.
I like the fact that we haven't even touched on like the other Fire Emblem games, which are like child soldiers and such like that.
No. Because nobody talks about those games. Nobody talks about those games anymore.
I was saying the only one we cared about were was the three houses in which it was just nothing but shipping. Like not even worried about like it's like Dragon Quest. You know, teen goes on an adventure to save blah 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 to get the blah blah blah. But no, it's like Fire Emblem. The other ones are like, I want to save my land and my family. What do I do? Need to join the army for this, and then go on this adventure. But
we're talking about potentially successful movies here, Frank.
We're trying to make a successful movie here, unlike Monster Hunter. God.
Hate to burst your bubble, but narrative is not what prints money.
So
how am I the least degenerate?
The genealogy of the Holy War, going that we will chronicle the history of this land, the royalty, all of these elements of strife, all of these demons that have almost conquered the world, light gods versus dark gods, and then there's Andrew who goes ships.
Yeah, I want to say there's two different people in this meeting, and the Nintendo Sex going, Andrew, how many of these girls can in this one frame? You go, a lot.
In just one frame. Like you mean like in just one frame of the movie? Or are you talking about like
frame. And then you're going, how much do you think it'll make us? And you go, a lot. And like, we'll give you a budget for this. Frank, try again next year. We'll go with Andrew. Like, it's not even like night and day in who was gonna get picked for this, but like Nintendo themselves, just think about this. Nintendo themselves are so conservative. I don't think that's gonna work. But live in your fantasy. I don't know how I'm the less degenerate of all of us.
They are conservative. They are conservative, yes. But let me remind you of a little game called Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Wow.
They are very case by case with
Let me
their
tell you about a game called
philosophies.
Bayonetta.
I want to say you're missing about Bayonetta. You're just forgetting about Bayonetta.
No,
honestly,
Bayonetta
Xenoblade
3
Chronicles
was Nintendo exclusive.
No, but I bring up Xenoblade because again, the lots of female characters aspect about that game, the harem aspect of that game. It's something that has in common with Fire Emblem. I'm sorry, Fire Emblem fans, I really am, but I'm just spouting the truth here.
It's just what the movie.
I don't care about lore or background or anything. I want more.
Is Lynn in the movie? That's all I want. I literally will see the movie 3 times just to see Lynn.
Let's pick our jaws off the floor for a second here. Let me pitch a movie then. That would probably be family friendly and all that stuff.
Give us like an actual pitch.
Professor Layton movie.
Ooh.
Hey now, we can roll with that. Look, you have Detective Conan, you have Lupin the Third, you have the live-action Sherlock Holmes movies. Like, there's lots of material to pick from and curate into a proper detective mystery movie for Professor Layton.
Because I think that or like Ace Attorney.
Yeah, no, definitely Ace Attorney.
But an anime and a live-action movie.
Yeah, but I think a more like a new story in these worlds will probably be much better. Because the mystery aspect will probably be doing a lot better than just straight action or whatever Mario's going to be.
That's still a good question about what the Mario movie will do, because the Mario movie has Donkey Kong in it. That's gonna set up a lot of stuff.
It has
Seth
Rogen as Donkey Kong.
I mentally blocked so much of that information about the cast list because so much of that looked like a Saturday Night Live joke. Yeah, where it's like, haha, we got Kingdom. Wait, he's actually gonna be Toad. You're kidding.
Yeah, just like check this out for a second. Do you guys remember the Donkey Kong game where you had to literally like attack the enemy and then jump to the next level, and that had to be repeated like on the Game Boy?
It's Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, imagine that game being played like in the 90s. This is like a family-friendly movie, like being played in the 90s, and it's being actually enacted in 2022.
Yeah, there's not a great precedent for the Donkey Kong series, though.
Look, I agree with Mello. I think that a Donkey Kong Country movie would be the best choice for him. Narratively,
I always think of what's the most. What do I remember the most when I think about like the game?
I just want the one where he punches the moon.
Which one was that?
I don't remember which game that was, but I remember him punching the moon.
This isn't the Donkey Kong like Congo barrel game where you have to hit the barrel.
Moon.
I do want to say that like
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Oh, that's the game it happens in?
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder. I haven't played Returns yet. As much as I want to, it's on my list of games to buy. I just haven't gotten around to it. But man, I've never heard anybody mention that.
Man, I hate the moon, so apparently I need to play that game.
Hey, Donkey Kong Country,
crashing to his island.
You know, it's just like the first thing that would pop into your mind, because you have to think there's going to be so much people that have never watched this or have interacted with this before. You want to curate and evolve. This is what it really is. Like, you know, like a doorway. Like Naruto is like a doorway into anime. Like I think like Mario Smash Bros is like the doorway into Nintendo. And you'll feel it like, but then like, no, I really think Legend of Zelda make a movie. That's a hit. That's like Lord of the Rings level.
Yeah, they can easily turn Breath of the Wild into a Lord of the Rings style epic easily.
So if they do a movie, they have to figure out for Legend of Zelda. They have to figure out a timeline.
Yeah,
and stick with it. Because if they don't, they will literally have their place burned to the ground because they won't pick one.
No, that's why they'll just
do the Marvel thing.
Yeah, make your own stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the premise of A Legend of Zelda, like it's like basically anything. It's malleable. You feel me? It's just some kid on the hillside on explorations. You know what I mean? And it's like it's deep, but it can be malleable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like we said. There's a lot of Zelda, but obviously the most popular and the most profitable one will be adapting Breath of the Wild into either I would say a trilogy, just so you could actually spread out some of the action and include flashbacks and stuff like that.
I think a Breath of the Wild movie made by the Ghibli Studios will be fantastic.
It'll never get done. It'll take so long.
It'll take so long.
It may kill Miyazaki before then, but he will finish it.
But it
He
will
will
be
finish
the
it,
best
then he will.
looking food you've ever seen.
Yep. Makes the terrible rock food still looks delicious somehow.
Works.
Like I think a Breath of the Wild movie will be the best way to go about it. Like skip like the original movies, original games, you know, Twilight Princess or anything like that. But a Breath of the Wild, like start up from like the Calamity on, would probably be the way you want to go about it.
Exactly.
So, what you're saying is that we need a Zelda movie called Live, Die, Repeat.
No, because that's a stupid name.
No,
Just stick with the Edge
All
of
you need is
just
kill.
call it Edge of Tomorrow. Just call it Edge of Tomorrow and be done with it.
I
Don't
would
change the
start
name
with
3
that.
freaking times.
They're making a sequel, right?
I know, and I just can't.
It's gonna be Live Die Repeat too.
Hey,
That's not what they're
all
calling
you need
it.
is to kill.
That's not what they're calling it. That's not what they're calling it. They're not going to call it Live Die Repeat 2.
Oh.
There's
no,
no
it's
way.
gonna be Edge of Tomorrow too.
It's still dumb. Just don't make a second movie,
I have
okay?
a real
The first movie
question.
is good. What
And
is
the
Melo's
day
question?
after
What is
tomorrow?
Melo's question?
Live,
Let's
Die,
leave this
repeat,
behind.
repeat.
Real quick,
don't wanna
like,
think
what do you
about
guys think? Do you guys think this is gonna be like, it's like superficial when it comes to like the video games? When like the Nintendo, when Mario,
absolutely.
for example, the one that's been, is it gonna be that, or is it gonna be something that has depth? I mean,
Well,
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be superficial. I don't think they're gonna go too deep into it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna pull what Sonic did. Sonic was
yeah.
well, it could be very different since they are just making an animated movie, so they don't have they don't have to include the family road trip thing that they did for Sonic 1. But so we don't know. It's like the litmus test will honestly be what they do with the Mario movie. Like
Because if they do something like Bowser's kidnap Princess Peach and then he has to go on a journey to get her back, then that's basically any of the original Mario Brothers games.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they do something similar to like Odyssey, like him having to travel to different places, learn new things, and then getting new powers to do this. Basically, it's again all these Mario games are
Oh, I can see that.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
can see why
they're
they
very
even did that.
basic premise. It's easy.
I see Odyssey more as an animated series because you could definitely do episodes in different places.
Yeah.
Especially with
I can't
Arcs,
see Mario
arcs,
like a
yeah,
person.
arcs
If
and
the person
yeah.
is grown man, it takes away everything. It has to be the animated Mario to me. But if it is a real person, I don't know who can pull it off.
Well, we did have the live action Mario Bros movie back in the 90s.
We don't talk about it nearly as much.
It's
I'm 90.
You gotta trust the
Great.
fungus.
it's not great, but it's not too terrible. It's not terrible.
It's hard to call that movie palatable.
It's actually fairly entertaining if you're not caring about anything in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Mario and Luigi Mario.
Oh my god.
The Mario Brothers.
Yeah. They like I said, I don't think they're gonna go too far into the lore or like create something new with these movies, because the way this seems like, because the fact that they have people cast as like Kamek and Bowser, Donkey Kong, Toad, and all that stuff, they're just trying to get the main story across. They're not gonna go into too far new grounds with Mario.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Illumination. They're literally not going to go that far into it.
I mean, Despicable Me, as much of a meme as the Minions have became. No, not a meme, a cancer. A cancer the Minions have become.
The
Despicable
movie is
Me,
great. The movie is great. Yes,
The
it's
movies
written.
are good.
Yeah,
The movies are written fairly depth, but I don't think that's what Nintendo wants.
Probably not. Okay, so I got a pitch for Luigi's Mansion now.
Yay!
Oh yeah. So
Is it gonna be?
It
tied
should
to
be.
the Haunted Mansion?
It should be the Castlevania Smash Brothers reveal trailer. Just take that and put it into a movie. Luigi gets fucking murdered in the first 5 minutes and becomes a ghost and has to go find his body. And he meets other ghosts in the meantime that he befriends. But he still has a vacuum cleaner, and it still works
I'm
for
gonna
some
pitch
reason.
Ghostbusters or Haunted Mansion, but okay, that actually works.
I mean,
It gets
Ghostbusters
better.
works too.
Because what happens is that Belmont goes to the top of the house, and there's a throne room, and Sephiroth is on the throne.
And he killed Luigi. No, Sephiroth obviously killed Luigi.
No, we saw that trailer. He killed Mario.
Mario to kill Luigi. It'll be a good plot twist.
No, if it's gonna be something like Luigi's Haunted Mansion, I think a tie into the Haunted Mansion would be great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. I actually really enjoyed it. I was genuinely surprised they actually put something scary like those zombies in it.
Oh yeah, they're remaking that movie.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm a little sad about that, but eh. Speaking of Disney rides, now I want to look up Nintendo World rides and see if we can adapt one of those into a movie.
I have a pick that has the word Nintendo Land in it.
Do it.
Mario Kart Nintendo Land Cup.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that we haven't talked about Mario Kart yet. Like, we could make a movie out of that.
Yeah.
Frankly, the idea I came up with for
Serious.
F-Zero, they just steal it and put it into Mario Kart instead of F-Zero, like they always do.
And in one scene, we
Like
stuff
everyone
Toad
is
inside of a cart. And it goes faster.
Oh my god.
The thing is, like, what's so amazing though, you could put a video game, you can go anywhere with it, and it would work. You know what I mean? As long as you stay within as long as you're not doing something wild, like you really can't miss unless it's the actors or the way it's written. You feel me? Because
Right, yeah.
video game, it's built to the player to see if he can beat it. But when you watch, it's just like a different platform. It's like getting switched and shit. You feel me? So like when I'm looking at the Nintendo list and all these IPs, it's like, yo, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I have like nostalgic feelings, and I think about, yo, the most nostalgic is the most money. I mean, like whatever it brings the most that everybody can know about. You feel me? Obviously, like Mario, like they obviously picked that because everyone knows Mario and played Mario.
Which
Know
is
what
a
I mean?
good start point. I would just say
Yeah.
that with Castlevania, that was a show that my parents enjoyed, and they never played any of the Castlevania games. I played probably 4 or 5 of them, and I loved that series because there were little key
Easter
things here and there that they did. But it's also that they had really good casting. When you have a good script and you have a great cast, you can transcend nostalgia in some regards and just make good content.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, because I watched Castlevania and just the Belmont and just how like it just felt like every character was a main character. That's how I
Yes.
know something's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like still.
I think they just have to get past the conservative views of like what their games should be. If they give creators their freedom to like interpret it, so like make your F-Zero game, but like not kid friendly wacky races, but more like oh God, what's that anime that came out that was basically wacky races in the Wild West?
Apari Ranman.
Apari Ramon. But you know, tone it down so it's not like absolute chaos like Death Race, but more, you know, Apari Ramon. You know, a bit more like a little slight edge to it, but not too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or like like Fatal Frame, actually make a horror movie based on the IP.
Okay,
I
what
do
about like an adult version? Can that ever be done for a
Easily.
Mario?
There's a handful of them.
Mario?
In my
For
head,
Mario?
like,
No. For Mario?
Yeah,
no,
like-
they will never do an adult version of Mario.
Well,
not.
it's also kind of also been done by a certain Matt Mercer as well. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a series called There Will Be Brawl, And way
boy.
back in the day on The Escapist, they had this independent film guy who was like, he didn't have a lot of voice roles at the time. This is way before Critical Role. And he's like, I want to make an independent film about how Brawl is actually like a dark, gritty city, and how Luigi is like a hard-boiled cop who's a detective, and he's also seeing Peach on the side, and Kirby's a serial killer.
I can believe that. Those are the eyes of an uncaring god.
I am one of the few people on Earth that probably has a signed Ganondorf by Matthew Mercer because of There Will Be Brawl.
Huh.
But it will never be made. That's the thing, it will never be made.
It's like, I just can't see how they would do that, and it could be, I don't know, maybe my mind is limited, but just how they could pull that off. For like let's say put a range 19 to 40. I mean,
right.
Like how could that be pulled off? No way. But then I could see it if it could be pulled off. If it's like made like the main character is like a weeb, like at his laptop playing video games, but at the same time he's like there's some other effect going on that's been movie shit, blow explosion, something of like, and Marvel shit.
Yeah.
Then it could be tied in. Like all I'm saying is that like the view, the escape, you know what I mean? The whole universe of like older people that watch it or get into, because like, bro, like the games that I play, you feel me? It's like, yo, like if I were to see a movie created, crafted in like a cool way, I would feel like I'm like, yo, they're respecting me, not only me, but everyone that plays this,
Right.
Like, yo, that would be dope. That would be like something to aspire. Like that's what I hope they're doing.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But like I said, the reason why Castlevania is on Netflix and the reason why The Boys is on Amazon, because they will never be made in a movie. Movies are so strict on what can and what they can show. There's a rating above R that is fairly not shown in theaters at all. It's called NC-17.
Yeah.
And if it's an NC-17 movie, you are strict on how to who that could be shown to.
You literally cannot. It literally means no one can see under the age of 17.
Like absolute. Yeah.
It's like,
but like,
or
even on
get in if
YouTube,
your
like if you
parents
say
it's
not
okay.
for kids, no comments.
Yep.
Yeah. So like the idea of trying to get, like, again, like we've done a whole lot of ideas here. It's the idea of trying to get that into a movie. I think we're trying to figure out that thing. So if we're trying to do something, basically how we can get those stories onto the big screen, we would have to go through certain things. Mario will never be anything like that because Nintendo will not allow that to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
They will fight tooth and nail, and maybe even make people disappear if they try to.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Nintendo is very strict about their PR with Mario nowadays. It was a lot more like, I guess you could say like the way that they portrayed Mario, like the risks they were willing to take, was a lot more loose back in the mid to early 2000s because they were still trying to figure out what vibe to give Mario. They were still kind of developing that image that we are now familiar with today. So, especially like just look at Shigeru Miyamoto. He is so obsessed about every minute detail that's even somewhat related to Mario that all ideas about Mario have to go through him. The last thing he is going to greenlight is a mature, like, adult version of Mario. So I think that goes without saying.
I do have a little bit more of a mature topic one. Is anyone here familiar with a series called Custom Robo?
I am familiar with it. I only played it a couple times. I know that Matt is obsessed with it.
Are you gonna pitch Gundam?
No. I'm pitching something way more interesting than just Gundam or Gundam Build Fighters. In Custom Robo 2, there's a villain called Rahu. Rahu was basically an evil nanite cloud that would sweep in through cities, take over, and at one point, it finally finds a children's toy and infects it, and becomes like the avatar for it, which is how the story for Custom Robo starts, and it's why everyone has customized robots.
Out of everything, why
this
did
thing and have to go and literally look at a cube and go, "You're telling me this is a toy?" Yes, and we need to put weapons on it. It's the only way to save the city. All right.
What?
So this is just Beyblade.
That is, bro.
Or,
that's
beat 'em on,
That's
that's
so
what it is.
crazy how that
Okay,
go.
beat 'em on I will accept. But yeah, I want to sell it as Custom Robo Origins of Rahu. Because it's an interesting idea for something that not a lot of people would know about. It has a very interesting sci-fi premise, and it's fun over the course of mild spoilers for
and
Custom Robo 2. It evolves. When you fight it the first time, it slowly gets beefier.
Yeah, like, cause I haven't played the game, right? So I'm listening from fresh eyes. So like fresh ears, you know. So I'm like thinking about that. That would be fucking lit. Some like, I don't know, the cloud, magical, dimensional, call it what you want. You feel me? They're going into a toy, but then like if there has to be some like weird reason, it goes into what, so like specifically why, like on some Chucky shit. Like Chucky's like scary as hell, but that shit was amazingly iconic.
One thing I do want to say about a Custom Robo movie is that it will be heavily merchandisable.
Oh my god, so much.
Would make a ton of money for Nintendo, and it would hit over really well with kids. So that is a perfect like action kids film that they could make.
There's also a fun little bit in the game where they talk about how there are some parts that are called illegal parts, where they're just so heavily modified where they're not allowed in tournament play. But since we're talking about the military developing this, they might be weapons that we would actually see in game. Because there's one weapon that's just the dragon. You shoot it, and a little red dragon comes out and very slowly tries to go towards your opponent. The worm gun, the illegal version of this, sends 5 out, and it's 3 times faster.
That sounds lit. I like the worm. It seems futuristic, like my automation, like my the fuck. Like, seeing that'd be dope.
Yeah, it's just like
I think Custom Robo has a huge opportunity. If nothing else, look up the intro to Custom Robo 2, because that cinematic is amazing.
Come on, that's just
Okay, so this is something I just pulled out of my deep subconscious, like ancient memories of years gone by. But there was a game that was made a while back called Spectrobes, which is basically a Pokemon ripoff. But just thinking about it, I don't even think Nintendo fully owns it, but I still wanna pitch just Spectrobes, another merchandisable IP where the whole premise is that our heroes are traveling in deep space and discovering the fossils of ancient animals and reviving them and then using them to stop evil.
Did you mean Space Dandy?
Yes.
No, run that last part back. That was crazy.
Yeah, Spectrobes was an interesting game on the DS because the whole thing is that it was kind of built around the microphone functionality of the DS. You had to blow into the mic to make the dust go away from the fossils you're recovering, and then you would have to shout into the mic with certain frequencies to reawaken the Spectrobes you found.
Yeah, so you're giving it parameters in which it can work. You feel me? That's dope. You feel yeah, I see.
But yeah, so there's a lot of that. That's the main gameplay of it, but it's basically an RPG. It's Pokemon-like, but it's in deep space where we're a protective core of heroes who use these newly discovered fossils to fight the forces of evil.
Yo, that's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that's a like super hit. What the fuck? Just sounds so like out there. And just think about like a Pokemon Go like movie. Like, what the fuck? Like that would already be that. It was a sensation. You know what I'm saying? But then just it becoming a movie, just be.
Yeah, Pokemon Go probably wouldn't work as a movie because Unless you want to make it a horror movie.
Oh God.
It would be like that one movie. Where it's only the video camera. What is it called? Paranormal.
Oh yeah,
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity. That's like it would just be looking at the screen.
Did you mean the Blair Witch Project?
Basically.
The Pokemon universe, again, does allow for a lot of different genres of storytelling. You could have a horror-themed Pokemon movie. Not that Nintendo or the Pokemon Company would pursue that, but
I mean, they already kind of have. There were
some spooky episodes. They've done some spooky stuff.
There was a Lavender
right,
Town
but
short, I believe that
those
they
were
did.
like Disney Channel level spooky.
You're right.
Gravity Falls is Disney Channel, bro.
Yeah, but that's not really that spooky though. Like honestly,
I'm gonna shuffle all of your senses isn't spooky.
no.
All of the animal heads speaking in unison, crying blood is not spooky.
No.
Check out our Gravity Falls recap.
No, like having to do like trying to figure out what line they can draw in the sand and go, how do we go to a certain point and how far can we take it is like the number one thing Nintendo will have to do with these games and studios, and what IPs they want to do. Because like I said, not everything's gonna be made. There's gonna be wild ideas thrown out there, but like very safely, a high fantasy Legend of Zelda will definitely be done. And are these all going to be live action, or are they all going to be animated like this Mario movie is?
Yeah, that's a really big question.
Let's assume, like for a second, let's just assume that actually happens and then it's successful. You know what I'm saying? And they continue making movies. And what if they start doing what the Marvel universe did and fleshing out specific characters, and like Luigi having his own movie, and then it grows more darker, like how the Escapist said, what you were saying, Shinobi. You know what I'm saying?
There will be brawl.
It'll evolve and get deeper and better, and then more into loyal to the game itself. You feel me? I think that'll be lit.
Yeah, that's but trying to figure out where they're gonna go with these things is what they're trying. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to pictureize what they're gonna do. Because if it's gonna be everything animated, like Illumination's gonna be either their main partner, or they might stick with Japan and go like Studio Ghibli or any of the multitude of anime art studios there.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you feel like is the most likely?
Most likely, I think another Pokemon movie will be done. Like, it's not going to be done by Game Freak. I think it's going to be pulled under the same studio of Nintendo.
Yeah, well, the Pokemon Company is the one that owns the Pokemon IP, so they will pursue another live-action movie, because Pokemon loves the concept of integrating, monsters that you can catch, the fantasy world, with real life. They want to make Pokemon feel as close as possible to the real thing.
Yep. And if I want to put money on it, probably a more idea of what a live action Pokemon would be, or animated one, I think we're gonna get another tournament arc.
That would be really cool. I'd love to see an actual tournament movie.
Yeah, I think a tournament movie would be great.
It would bring the essence of Pokemon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To its right in front of you. That's what I'll be looking for. The essence of why is it nice?
It's
arc with Ash.
Yeah. Well, not even Ash. I think just a new character. Like every other game, just a new person to be the one to go, I want to challenge the number one Pokemon battler. I want to be that. I want to be the number one trainer.
Yeah.
It has to be some sort of call to arms. It has to be something I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do this, and I want to be the best I can. And then it's probably gonna be start off at the start of the season, and then they go forward and learn the trades and tricks and trades and all that stuff. And then at the end, the climax of the movie is they're battling the champion.
Yeah.
The climax of the movie is somebody whips out a Darkrai.
Slam dunk.
Never again.
It could be they're in Kanto, and then there is Red.
I mean, there's a lot of things people want, because everyone wants Red to be
Yeah.
a main character because
Like,
they're
why
tired
wouldn't
of
we?
acting bullshit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Do we? I feel like we've gone on for about an hour and a half now. So do we want to get to a wrap up?
Yeah. I do want to say real quick that for those who were around back in the day in like the like the late 2000s, some may remember that there was an infamous IGN April Fool's Day joke where they unveiled a trailer for the Legend of Zelda movie. And you can go look this up on YouTube. The trailer was maybe like 2 minutes long at best, but it was entirely live action. It was filmed in that Tolkien style of like lighting in a fantasy land, and it was an origin story for Link. It was also like a light adaptation of the Ocarina of Time. Link gets trapped in the Temple of Time by Zelda as a war is going on, and then he escapes like sometime later after all his time has passed. He meets Sheik. He has to fight Ganondorf. The cinematography is amazing. There's this really cool scene where this old man who's like a priest, this old priest like lifts up Link's like gauntlet on like his glove and shows the Triforce symbol on his hand and says, "I welcome the hero of time." And it's just it's really cool. It's a badass trailer. Like, everybody needs to go check it out. It is totally up on YouTube.
You believe it. Like they had the spirit of a Joker, and I love it. You feel me? Like, what happened?
It was for April Fool's Day, and I just remember the whole internet going wild over this trailer that IGN dropped, and people just saying, This is what we need. We need a live-action Zelda movie that is this." And it spoke to the possibility, and it still hasn't happened yet, but I think it's worth checking out. I definitely wanted to bring up that point during this podcast.
No, and I think a Tolkien version of Breath of the Wild would be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or go the animation route. Have Studio Ghibli do it.
There's also the reveal trailer for Palutena in Smash 4 that was entirely anime, and it starts off in a battle of Link versus Kid Icarus, and Link does this super sick claw shot where the claw just shoots out in the air and does this really cool curve and catches Pit by the leg and pulls him down and smacks him to the ground.
Yeah.
And Link rushes him and like 1, 2, 3 sword blows and kicks him in the stomach and just sends Pit flying. Like, it's great animation, great fight scenes. That was the proof that everybody needed to say, hey, we need a Zelda anime. One of the two. Zelda is just perfect for a movie narrative setting. It's all about narrative. So, who knows? Maybe if the Mario movie goes over really well, then Nintendo would consider a totally different approach to movies with Zelda. Who knows? That's probably wishful thinking.
Legend of Zelda, made by Illumination.
Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I said.
That just hurt me.
Not
that
what I
just
said.
hurt me a little.
I don't want the
I don't want to think about it.
Then a minion shows up as one of the monsters as they're sitting in the background with a hobgoblin goblin going. I'm like, no. Why is that there? Why is that there? Banana, and it runs away. And you're like,
it steals Link's boomerang.
Yeah. It takes his hat, puts it on, going.
All right, with that terrible pitch in, I think we're gonna wrap things up here. But continue the conversation in the comments below, folks. Give us your pitch idea for a future Nintendo Studios Mbros production movie. Could be anything from super R-rated hardcore stuff to the most kid-friendly cotton candy stuff you can think of.
Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. We've got all these characters to work with. We don't know what Nintendo's gonna do, but we just hope they do something fun and good. Because obviously Nintendo wants money, right? And we will willingly give them our money if it's good. It's like, we thank you all for tuning in today. For all things anime, video games, and comic books, please check out our website, advent7.com. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We have our subreddit. Today I was joined by Andrew.
F-Zero needs a movie. Just saying. It can be Redline. Rip it off. I don't care. Just make it happen. You don't want to make a video game, Nintendo, so just make a freaking movie. Do it. Do it.
Frank.
Famicom Detective Club would be great. Nancy Drew movie.
Don't
Nancy
tempt
Drew
them.
movie.
First the Mario movie, then the Famicom Detective Club. Nintendo loves that franchise. Don't you tempt them.
Mellow.
Family friendly. Donkey Kong, a kid in the 90s, playing the game, countryside Donkey Kong, going up the levels. Same thing happening, but he's going up skyscrapers in Manhattan. And, yeah.
Yeah. And Professor Shinobi.
All I'm saying is that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Visions, in the style of like the Animatrix, where you give everybody everything and say go ham, has unlimited potential.
You are not wrong. Thank you all for tuning in today. We hope you have a good one. We will see you all next time. Yaga!
Yeah, goodbye.